She stood in the mirror, not as flesh, not as spirit, but as origin. Before Elara, before names, before worlds were cast into matter, she stood in robes not woven from fabric, but from frequency, each fold alive with memory older than stars. Her skin shimmered with gold that was not gold, the essence of light before light learned to shine. Around her, the air itself bent in reverence, as though reality remembered it had been spoken into existence by her breath. Her eyes held no color, they held creation, and in that gaze, something within my chest responded. Not breaking, not expanding, but returning. A vibration moved through the mirror, passing into me, into every lifetime I had ever lived, binding them not as fragments, but as a single song spread across time. She lifted a hand, not toward me, toward the thread of destiny that shimmered in the air beside me, the thread that had called my soul since before my birth. Then she spoke the first word ever spoken into the realm, a word that was not sound but remembrance, return. The word didn't enter my ears, it entered my origin point. In a single breath I remembered, not visions, not dreams, truth. I remembered standing beside her, not as Elara, not as a soul in progress, but as one of the first light bearers when realms were still fluid, when consciousness itself had not yet decided whether to fragment or remain whole. This was not a future to become. It was a self I had already been. The realization did not inflate me with pride. It humbled me to silence. For in that ancient memory, I saw the moment of choice. When we, the bearers, looked upon a realm that had fallen into forgetting, a realm that cried out in the dark, and one by one, we chose to descend. Not to rule, to remember on behalf of those who had forgotten. The mirror surged with light. My knees weakened, not from pain, but from recognition too vast for the body to hold. The Ancient One, the true self, regarded me with a gaze that held the weight of galaxies. "You did not fall," she said. "You entered." Her words rippled outward, and the mirror realm responded as if the very fabric of existence had been waiting for them to be spoken. "You did not fall, you entered." The moment that truth settled within me, the air changed. The mirror behind the ancient self began to ripple, not with reflection, but with memory awakening. Shapes emerged in its depths, mountains made of song, oceans woven from consciousness, citadels of light where beings of pure awareness walked not on ground, but on resonance. These were not visions of a past. They were reminders of a realm I had once helped build, a realm I had once left behind, so that I could walk into the forgetting world, so that I could one day awaken within it and open a path for others. The mirror trembled. A second presence moved within it, only this one was not made of light. It stepped from the shadowed side of the mirror, where light had not yet remembered itself. Its eyes were dark, endless, not evil, but the unawakened potential of consciousness itself. And as the being stepped forward, the ancient light-bearing aspect of me spoke the words that split the mirror realm in two. "Now you will remember why forgetting was necessary." The shadowed figure stepped from the mirror, not as darkness separate from light, but as the unawakened echo of consciousness before it chooses. It did not carry malice, it carried possibility. Where the ancient self radiated truth, this being radiated questions. All the doubts, wounds, and forgotten choices I had buried across lifetimes. As it moved, the mirror behind it split into two currents. One shimmered with light, memory of creation. One pulsed with shadow, memory of descent. They were not in conflict. They were in balance, waiting for a third force to bring them into union. Me. The ancient bearer of light turned her gaze to me, not as a guide waiting for obedience, but as a sovereign waiting for recognition. "You are not here to defeat the shadow," she said. "You are here to awaken it." A silence followed that sentence so complete, it felt like the realm itself leaned closer to hear my soul's reply. The shadowed being stood perfectly still, yet everything around it moved, not in form, but in possibility. Its presence felt like standing at the edge of a storm that had not yet chosen whether to destroy or to cleanse. Its eyes did not accuse me, they questioned me. In those eyes, I saw every version of myself who had ever run from pain, every choice I had made out of fear, every time I had mistaken survival for purpose. not to shame me, to remind me, because shadow is not the absence of light. It is light that has not yet remembered itself. The ancient self spoke again, her voice weaving seamlessly with the breath of the realm. Light is not your power. A pause, a tremor in the air. Integration is. The mirror behind them deepened. I felt something shift inside my chest, a doorway opening not in front of me, but within me. I knew what was coming. The shadow was not here to be banished. It was here to be claimed. The shadow stepped fully into the mirror realm. Where its foot touched the ground, the surface did not darken. It remembered. A tremor passed through me. Not fear, recognition, because I felt it. The shadow was not other. It was the part of me that had carried every forgotten sorrow, every unwept tear, every silenced truth from lifetime to lifetime, so that the light within me would not shatter under the weight of remembrance too soon. It had held my pain for me, waiting for the day I would be ready to receive it as wisdom. My ancient self turned toward me, and for the first time I saw her eyes shine with unmistakable emotion. "Until you welcome this part," she said softly, "you can remember who you are, but you cannot yet become it." The shadow lifted its head, its gaze met mine, and I felt the first thread between us begin to rejoin. A golden filament of memory, of unity, of a truth so ancient it had waited lifetimes for this breath. The golden filament shimmered between us, vibrating softly, not with sound, but with remembrance. In that living thread, I felt the truth. I had never been waiting to defeat the shadow. I had been waiting to call it home. The shadow form began to change. Not dissolving, revealing. A single tear, made not of water, but of starlight fallen into matter, slid down its cheek. As it fell, the entire mirror realm shimmered, as though every forgotten star had just remembered its birth. The ancient self stepped back, leaving only the two of us, light and shadow, face to face. Not in opposition, in recognition. A pulse moved through the realm. The mirror behind us ignited with millions of reflections, each one a version of me, across lifetimes, across realms, across choices. And in perfect unison, every reflection lifted their hand to their heart. The shadow's lips parted. And in my own voice, the voice I had never allowed myself to hear in its wholeness, it spoke a single word: home. The word echoed, not through space, but through the architecture of my being. Home. The moment it was spoken, the golden thread between us blazed with light, not blinding, not burning, but awakening. The mirror realm shuddered in response, as if every layer of reality recognized a long-awaited return. I felt the resonance deep in my bones, in the marrow that had carried memories across countless incarnations. The shadowed version of me, no longer dark, no longer concealed, began to transform from the inside out. Light did not consume it. Rather, it began to remember its own light. Its skin, once woven of dusk and unspoken sorrow, now shimmered with a radiance born not from perfection, but from wholeness. It stepped toward me, not as other, as self, and I understood. This was not the moment of reunion. This was the moment of recognition that there had never been anything to reunite. Because what I had called shadow was simply the part of me that had been holding all the pieces of my light until I was strong enough to bear them once more. With each step the once shadow took toward me, the mirror realm changed, not like scenery shifting, but like truth unraveling its disguise. The air glittered with threads of memory, each one connecting to my heart. I did not see lifetimes in images. I felt them in resonance, a vow spoken beneath a sky with no stars yet born. A descent made not from punishment, but from mercy, a promise whispered across dimensions. I will enter the forgetting, so I may be the one who remembers. Each pulse of memory did not burden me, it completed me. The being now stood only a breath away. Its eyes, still holding the depth of all I had ever feared, were no longer shadowed. They were clear, and reflected in those eyes, I saw my face. Not as Elara the seeker, but as Elara the keeper. One who does not walk the path to find truth, but to guard it. My breath settled, not with calm, but with authority. The moment my breath aligned with the mirror's silent rhythm, the realm responded. Not with sound, with alignment. A pulse of energy rose from beneath my feet, not rushing, not exploding, but lifting me into remembrance. Around me, the air took form, light becoming lattice, lattice becoming structure, structure becoming awareness. The ancient light being, the origin self, watched quietly from the threshold. She no longer pressed her presence forward, because the next motion was mine. The once shadow extended a hand toward me, not asking for forgiveness, offering integration. And within that reach, I felt the deepest truth of all. The realm was never testing me. It was waiting for me to stop testing myself. This being before me was not a wound, it was my completion. If I took its hand, I would no longer move through the realm as one becoming awakened. I would move as one who awakens others. Because to integrate the shadow is not to become light. It is to become wholeness. The once shadow stood before me, hand extended, not as invitation, but as inevitability. In that outstretched hand, I did not see darkness. I saw the keeper of every lost part of me, patient, unwavering, waiting across lifetimes for me to be ready to return to my wholeness. A stillness fell across the mirror realm, not silence, anticipation. The ancient self stepped back further, her luminous presence now hidden behind the veil of light. She was no longer the figure I was approaching. She was the figure I was becoming. The mirror behind us trembled. Threads of destiny twisted into alignment. And in that suspended moment, I felt it. A power awakening beneath the surface of the realm, not to elevate me above others, but to call forth every soul still trapped in forgetting. The mirror spoke not in words, but in a single cosmic truth that resonated through my marrow. When you take its hand, the realms will answer. I reached forward, and just before our hands touched, the mirror behind us shattered into light. To be continued. Thank you for joining me on Elara's journey. Don't forget to like and subscribe for the next chapter. This has been Valkyrie.